In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a long guard to stop every punch and every common boxing combination. Then I'll break down exactly when I use the long guard versus the Philly shell or head movement and why. So let's first review how the long guard works, or at least how I use the long guard. Hand position and purpose. My rear hand stays tight to my right eyebrow while my lead arm is slightly extended forward at the same height as my left eyebrow. The reason I keep the lead arm further out is to help maintain distance. I can extend it as my opponent moves in to keep them at range. Defending straight punches, the jabs and the crosses. When a left straight punch comes in, whether it's a jab from an orthodox fighter or a cross from a southpaw, I parry the wrist using my wrist and forearm to deflect the punch away. When parrying, I turn my palm forward as if I'm saying stop. My arm never goes past my face. It only blurs my right eye for protection. It doesn't matter if this happens after a knee, punch, elbow, or kick. You always want to return to your stance and parry as quickly as possible. Left uppercut, parry the same way as a jab. Left straight to the body, drop your arm slightly and parry the same way. For the right straight punch, the cross from orthodox or the jab from southpaw, I parry the forearm to elbow, not the wrist. Because my lead arm is further forward, this gives me more control and a bigger window to redirect the punch before it reaches my face. By deflecting the forearm, I create a bigger opening to counter since their punching arm is now out of position. Again, I extend my lead arm and keep my palm forward, maintaining at least an arm's length distance. Right uppercut, same as the cross. Right straight to the body, drop the arm and parry the same way. Defending hooks and overhands. For the left hook, I usually carriage block or lean back. The key is using your lead arm to measure distance so you know when to block or to step back. This comes with practice and understanding range. For body hooks, step back and hollow your body back if necessary to dodge. If your opponent is too close, you can block with arms by crunching. I personally like to always try and dodge the left hook to the body or the head. For the right overhand or hook, I use what I call a 360 block. Extend your lead arm completely straight and flare it out at a 45-degree angle to the left. This prevents your shoulder from touching your chin. If it does, the punch will wrap around and still land. By flaring out properly, the overhand slides down your arm instead. Defending common combinations. Here are some typical combos and how to deal with them using the long guard. Left straight, right straight. Parry the jab at the wrist and the cross at the forearm/elbow. Left straight, right overhand. Same principles apply. Be ready to 360 block the overhand. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, get access to my free striking defense course. This video you are watching is actually a chapter of the course. You can find it in the link in the description box below. Right straight, left straight. Common from southpaws or blitzing karate fighters. Right straight, left hook, parry the cross, carriage block or lean back for the hook. Jab, left hook. Be careful not to overreach on the jab parry. Keep ready to carriage block or lean back for the hook, and even the liver hook follow-up. Right straight, right hook. Don't over parry or you'll be too slow to 360 block. Left hook, right straight. Carriage block the hook, parry the straight. Right hook, left straight. 360 block the hook, parry the straight, common from southpaws. Left hook, right hook. Step back and lean against the left, and then 360 block the right. Right hook, left hook. 360 block first, then step back/lean back on the second. As you can see, once you've practiced the long guard enough, it's all the same. Even if the combinations thrown are not common, like the ones you see here, you should be able to defend if you can maintain enough distance. The main concept is to be able to manage your distance with footwork, windshield wipe the punches with your long guard, and use footwork to reset. The closer your opponent gets to you, the harder it will be to react to all these different punches. The long guard shines when you don't know what your opponent will throw, especially against aggressive blitz. It's easier to back away, maintain range, and windshield wipe the punches than guess and slip everything. Defending kicks. I've seen people say the long guard leaves you open to the body, but that's not really true if you understand how to use it properly. The whole idea of the long guard is to maintain enough distance so you can see kicks coming and react, either by checking or by catching or something else. When I extend my lead arm, it actually makes it easier to close that gap between my elbow and knee, creating a solid wall of defense. Plus, with my arm extended, there's a clear path for a body kick to slide in, which makes catching it smoother. I just wrap around the kick instead of trying to open up from a tight guard. On the other hand, If you keep your arms glued to your body, your natural reaction will be to Dutch block with your arms instead of catching or checking. And in Muay Thai rules, blocking with your arms doesn't count as a proper block. In fact, good Muay Thai fighters will target your arms on purpose to drain your punching power and weaken your guard over time. In the long guard, just like many other guards, the rear arm stays tight to your head and body. That way, when a left kick comes, you can undercatch it, brush it, or even use a Dutch block if that's your preference. When to use the long guard versus the Philly shell. There are times when the Philly shell is better than the long guard. Ideally, I keep enough distance with the long guard to parry body punches while having enough time to bring my arm back up to block the head. But if my opponent does get too close, I will use the Philly shell and head movement as a second line of defense, mainly when my lead hand is too low and head movement becomes the faster defensive option. Here are some main scenarios. Overcommitting on a parry. For example, if I drop my lead hand too far to block an uppercut or body shot, I should shoulder roll instead of trying to bring the hand back up. Another example, reading the wrong punch. I expected a cross, extended to parry a punch, but the hook comes instead, so I shoulder roll. Here's another example, fake to high kick. I drop my lead hand for a fake body shot and they throw a high kick instead, so I shoulder roll. Here's another one, the lead hand gets trapped. My opponent ties up or pulls my lead arm down, so shoulder rolling becomes necessary. Here's another one, opponent traps the long guard. They pull down the lead arm and attack over it, so I shoulder roll. And here's one more. After throwing a liver hook, my lead hand is low, so I roll instead of lifting my guard. Punch counters versus kick counters. The long guard is great for countering with kicks, but if I want to counter with punches, head movement, like a shoulder roll, is usually faster and smoother. Sometimes I even bait with my low lead hand to roll into a counter hook. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to get access to my free striking defense course by clicking the link in the description box below.